So, did I shoot 5 rounds or did I shoot 6? I kind of lost count in all that commotion. Do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? I gots to know. Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you. And as always, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I truly appreciate it. I have a very interesting video that I want to go over with you guys, and I think you're really going to enjoy it and you might learn something new. And as always guys, keep watching. So in this video, I want to go over the differences between an air rifle and a firearm. Now you probably already think, well James, we already know what the difference is. You know, one's a powder burner, one uses air for propellant, all that stuff. And yes, that is the difference. But, you know, air rifles are not regulated in the United States like firearms are, all that good stuff. Most people already know this. But I want to save the best for last. So I am going to go over it real quick with everybody that watches my channel, whether you're in the United States or not. As mentioned, air rifles are not regulated here in the United States. Firearms are. In the United States, we're allowed to have firearms as long as we're a legal citizen to own them. And depending on the area where you live at or your address, there are certain restrictions on them and what you can have and can't have. But where I am located, I can pretty much have whatever I want legally as long as I abide by the law, and I do. So that's one of the differences with these two. Another one, you could buy an LDC or moderator or whatever you want to call it online for an air rifle. You cannot do that for a firearm in the United States. You have to go to a dealer and pay a tax stamp and then wait for your tax stamp to be approved. And the time frame, there is no telling how long it could take you to get your suppressor on your firearm here in the United States. You know, there's some time frames thrown out there, but it all depends on how long it takes somebody to go over your paperwork, and then you pay your $200 tax stamp to be approved. But again, everybody that lives in the United States pretty much knows this. Something that I have found, and many of you are going to be like in awe basically over it, what I'm about to tell you about comparing these two. Now, to me, the biggest difference, guys, is really not what you think it is. It's a lot simpler than that. Now, going back a little bit of history on firearms, they weren't designed like they are today, if you know what I'm talking about. If you go back and study a lot of the older rifles and designs and stuff like that, they definitely are not designed like they are today. And that same concept that exists today in a firearm does not exist in an air rifle, no matter what. You'll hear me say it here in a bit, but I kind of want to build the suspense up because you're going to be like, you got to be kidding me, why don't they do that? So this is a magazine fed 22 caliber rimfire firearm pistol, and this is my 22 magazine fed air rifle, KRAL MP03 Ruger Charger, if you really want to know. So now that I built up the suspense a little bit, guys, and told you there's something incorporated in the firearm that is not in the air rifle, and you're probably thinking, well, what is it? They both have safeties. You know, what else could it be? So check this out. Let me show you. And this is every standard firearm in today's market, you know, that's made modern, I should say. So you see the firearm here, guys. You see the bolt. You go ahead, and the gun is on safe, by the way. You see me rack the bolt, remove the magazine. Now watch. See what I did there? There is the same 22 long rifle cartridge that got loaded in the barrel and then got removed. It got loaded and then unloaded. Here's the 22 caliber air rifle. Pellet inside the magazine. Unsafe. Loaded. Still loaded. So, it's still loaded. That's the thing. That is the biggest difference, guys, between an air rifle and a modern day firearm. The modern day firearm can be loaded and unloaded safely. The air rifle cannot. Unless you manually stick a cleaning rod or something down in the barrel to remove the pellet without shooting it. Now I know to some this may not be a big deal, but to others it could be. To me, it's somewhat of a safety factor that if you sit there and loaded this magazine with one pellet and you forgot you had one in here and you discharged it by accident, there you have it, guys. A pellet is stuck in the barrel until you shoot it out or remove it physically. So to me, that is the biggest difference between an air rifle and a firearm. The projectile can be safely removed out of a firearm, and it cannot be out of an air rifle like this without manually pushing a cleaning rod down it and removing it. And then you cannot check the bore physically, all the way around it like you can a firearm. Physically, on a firearm, you could check the bore to make sure that it is safely unloaded and safe to handle. Whereas on this, somebody handed you this, you would not know that there was a pellet in there, guys. So I just wanted to share this with you, and something, just food for thought, and not to scare anybody. I just thought it was interesting that as much as air guns cost these days, and as much engineering that goes into these, that there is not a safety feature that lets you know that this gun is loaded or that you can safely unload it. So guys, I appreciate you watching as always, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from with this video, because of using firearms most of my life and then always checking. And you know who you are. You guys know what I'm talking about when you safely check a firearm when somebody hands it to you or you pick it up. You cannot do that with this. So as always, guys, make sure to hit that like button if you liked the video, which I hope you do. Thanks again for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you guys on the next video.